Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here. I know it's a long time no see. I'm here to do a reading for this blue moon in Sagittarius. Um, sorry, it's been a while. I've had a lot going on. Boy, could I tell you guys some stories? Goodness. Yes, lots of different stories to tell. So let's see. I'm gonna take some Earth and Sky Oracle. And we're going to take a look at the energy for everybody. So what is coming in? What is this full moon, this blue moon energy bringing in for everybody? What is this energy bringing in for everyone? We have Moose, self-assurance, authority figure, leads by example, comfortable in life. And I'll take a few more and then I'll talk to you guys about all of them. We have Summer, outdoor activities, fun of the sun, group celebrations, vacations, and trips. What else do we have for everybody? We have Cougar, self-empowerment, taking charge, leadership skills, setting boundaries. And then one flipped over, we have wormhole, time travel, dimensional shifts, the other side, distant civilizations. Can you guys see those? Okay. Yeah. And then on the back we have pig, carefree, easygoing, calm, collected, keeps the peace, naive, lazy. Okay, so what I'm getting from this is there's somebody here who's the energy is really kind of about self-actualization or self-empowerment. I think I had that. Yeah, we have self-assurance, self-empowerment. So it's kind of trying to step into that leadership role, try to like ground yourself, but also like have fun with the energy. I feel like there's like, kind of like a playful energy here, but there's also this sort of like very grounded energy, very there's also like a kind of more curious, like being open and curious to life kind of energy. Um, Also very strategic, maybe like a little bit strategic, or maybe like that's not the right word. Like, what am I trying to say? I don't want to say calculating because that sounds like negative. It's more like positive than calculating, but really trying to like you have a plan and you're setting a plan, you're setting some type of plan. I feel like this has to do with some sort of shift. You could be shifting like your level of consciousness, or like another way to say that is you're like having a spiritual awakening, or you're if you don't do the spiritual stuff, it could be like you're just expanding your awareness. Basically, you're just like learning new things, expanding your awareness. And I feel like there's an energy of needing to kind of like balance all this out. So it's balancing like taking charge, taking that leadership role, grounding yourself, being playful, and also making time for that peace, or downtime, resting time, that kind of thing. And this has to do with like expanding your awareness, expanding your consciousness, shifting your consciousness, spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. It's all the same to me. So that's really cool. I like that energy. Let's go ahead and pull some tarot and see if there's anything else that comes out. I'm gonna use the Adventure Tarot because I don't know, that just sounds pretty spiritually adventurous to me. I don't know about y'all, but I hope everybody's doing well too. Um, Again, like I would tell you like everything that's been going on, but I'd have to write a freaking book, which I might actually end up doing because that is how life has been recently for me. Okay, this year. I knew 2026 was going to be a rough year. I knew it because the day it started, it just Yeah, and it hasn't stopped. So, um, it's not bad or anything. I mean, it's not like horrible, nothing like catastrophic. Everything I can figure it out, but yeah, anyway, enough about me. Sorry. This is about you guys. This is about collective energy. So, what is the energy for everybody for this full moon, blue moon, and Sagittarius? Show me the energy, please. Show me what the energy is, please. We have 10 of Pentacles. That's awesome. What else do we have? What is the energy for everybody? 9 of Pentacles. You guys saw me shuffle these, right? What else do we have? My goodness, there's just like, yes, I'll take them. Okay, so we have 7 of Cups. We have Guide of Cups, which I'm sorry, I'll have to look in the book because I don't remember what the guide was for this. 5 of Swords. What else do we have? What else for everybody, please? We have the 10 of Wands. Okay. What else for everybody, please? We have the 10 of Cups. Wow, so we have 3 tens. So I feel like maybe there could be a cycle completing for somebody, starting a new cycle, which, full moon makes sense. It checks out. We have Explorer of Cups. And then on the back, we have 6 of Pentacles. And let me look this up real quick. I'm so sorry. This is like probably one of my newer decks. I don't know when they changed the suit people or what do you call it, court cards. Let me see what the guide is. So we so the Guide of Cups is going to be the King of Cups, and then the Explorer of Cups is going to be the Queen of Cups. Okay. Okay, so for the energy that's coming in, so I said we had 3 tens. We do. We have 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and 10 of Cups. So there is a cycle completing. What is this cycle about? The cycle looks to me like it's about some type of stability. It could be potentially family life stability, love stability, something that's been burdening you, either within that or directly related to. It's coming to an end, whatever this is. But there's also a new beginning because tens can also be ones, because 1-0. So, um, something is ending, and I don't want that to scare you, but it's something that needs to happen because of the burden that it's been causing. There's something where you're like letting, do you see how they're like letting down all these wads, all these sticks? Yeah, you need to like lay down your burden, um, because something needs to close out. There's a cycle that needs to close out. Um, So let's look into this a little bit. So with this cycle closing out, I feel like maybe you're a little bit conflicted, which is normal. You're having some thoughts. Maybe there's some like thoughts and even communication that is stressing you out a little bit with this, just because the Ten of Pentacles is like, this is like building a legacy, right? This is like something you spent a long time. You spent years building this. You built this with other people. There's other people involved. There's possibly a partner. There's a family. There's children. Um, there's a lot of things attached to this. There's a lot of physical world. It's not just like a job or something. It could be partly a job. It could be, and for some of you, it could be, like the job is ending, the family life is ending, um, all this stuff that you have worked to, that you spent years, this is spending years building up to this, is coming to an end. So it makes total sense why you would be in your head, why you would be in this Five of Swords energy where you are feeling like gosh, it looks like, do you see how like this person, it looks like she has like nothing to hold on to, and she's like trying to get to those knives at the top, and there's knives at the bottom, but it looks like it's just sheer rock face. There's like literally nothing to hold on to. So I feel like you're feeling like everything's like maybe crashing down, and it's it's a cycle that needs to end and it's a necessary ending, but that doesn't always mean that it's fun, right? Um, and so they're showing you with this Knight of Pentacles here that you do have, um, you have stability within yourself, and the Knight of Pentacles is very like independently oriented. So where the Ten of Pentacles is going to be more focused on your family, the Knight of Pentacles is going to be focused solely on you. So this is just you. This is they're saying like even though this is ending, even though this is really hard, and you're having a lot of thoughts about it and you're wondering, you're trying to decipher between your thoughts and your intuition, you have like built yourself your own legacy that, has worked within this system of 10 of Pentacles, but it's also something where because you've built this legacy, there are things that you need to drop because you have been carrying too much with this 10 of Wands. And so it's time for you to focus on your fulfillment and not just like holding everybody else's wands and not holding all the wands for everybody and not like letting any of that go. You need to let that go, is basically what they're saying. And so, um, moving on to the Seven of Cups here, we have, there's a lot of opportunity here. There's a lot of options. And so it might be, maybe it's a little confusing. Maybe it's a little, maybe there's things that you're fantasizing about. And these are totally valid because this is a time right now where you're supposed to kind of like look inward and you're supposed to see that, you're supposed to see the opportunities, the options for what they are. You're supposed to look at everything and you're supposed to, um, be the creator here. Like Seven of Cups energy is very creative energy. It's very energy focused on like, I could do whatever. I have all these cups and I could my slate is blank, like my drawing board is blank and so I'm going to do all this. And so with the 10 of Cups they're saying that like you need to focus on kind of like meditating on your options here or meditating, we could also say thinking about or processing, if you don't like the spiritual stuff with that, we can talk about, like this, what is this leading to? Well, this is leading to this 10 of Cups, which is this is the ultimate alignment. This is ultimate fulfillment because you're in line with your chakras. You can kind of see this one has, you see the rainbow there. And so it's like you're in alignment with your chakras. And so all what is this leading to? What is this ending leading to? It's leading to some type of um creation activity that's going to lead to this fulfilling life. And then it's really interesting because with that, we have the King of Cups. And so, like, the emotions here are really important. So, it's really about listening to your intuition, listening to your emotions. I also want to point out with the Guide of Cups and the Explorer of Cups, that's the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups. So, there is like a divine partnership here. There is like uh, a spiritual connection. And so this is, and if it doesn't resonate for you that way, then it's just aligning your like divine feminine parts of yourself with your divine masculine parts and like being in harmony and kind of like balancing those out, which is essentially what we're trying to do when we're trying to achieve that kind of like Zen or self-actualization state. And so, this is showing that like either there is a very significant partnership that's coming from this ending, or if it's not that, like I said, there's a very significant balancing of yourself, balancing of your emotions. It's balancing that feminine emotion and masculine emotion. um and so on the back of the deck we have the Six of Pentacles, which is all about this reciprocity. It is about kind of balance, and it's about this sort of like give and take energy. So it's like, where in your life were you giving too much? You need to drop those ones and you need to take it back for yourself. Um, And so this is really interesting energy to me. I'm seeing a lot of throat chakra energy right now. So there could be something that you need to express. Maybe it could be helpful to write in a journal. It could be helpful to talk to a therapist or a friend. It could be helpful to have a conversation with somebody about some of this. I'm also seeing a lot of heart chakra energy, which does tell me that this is yeah, this is about like expanding your heart chakra. So whatever you're going through, remember we saw the cards before about the oracle cards, they were about that shift in consciousness. This is a shift in consciousness that has to do with your emotions. It has to do with your emotions, how you express your emotions, and what how that shows up in the physical world for you. Um, how that relates to your sense of self. This is your sense of self. This is solar plexus chakra. Nine of Pentacles is solar plexus chakra for me. Why? Because solar plexus chakra is how you show up for yourself, how you show up for other people in the world, how you um, express who you are and how that is received in the physical world. And so this is all about sort of like, I use that word self-actualization. That's psychology. It's Carl Rogers, I believe. And so that's like kind of like this state of enlightenment. It's a state of like, you know, you have put all these other building blocks in place. Um, and so now you are at this place where you are going to see the benefits of that with this Guide of Cups, this Explorer of Cups. And it's really about, it's interesting we have the Guide and the Explorer because I feel like those are so interesting because one of those is like, I'm going to show you how to do this. I'm going to take action and show you how to do this, that masculine energy. And the Explorer is really like, I'm just going to do it. It kind of reminds me more of like the Fool energy, where it's just like, I'm just going to jump off this cliff and I'm doing this for my personal well-being, my personal journey. And the guide is like, let me, hold your hand here. Let me show you how it's done. Um, and so I think that's interesting that we have sort of like this journey. So it's talking to this spiritual journey of what we are trying to accomplish here. So that's like already amazing. I will clarify because we might as well dig as deep as we can, right, to get the most specific, accurate message that we possibly can. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify these cards to see if there's anything else that is significant that comes out or that could give you any indication of, maybe some unanswered questions that you have or anything. So this Ten of Pentacles, show me more about this Ten of Pentacles energy, the world. Yeah, okay. So I told you guys it's a closing out of a cycle. I cannot make this up. You saw me shuffle. So the world is about closing out a cycle. And so what happens when we close out the cycle? The world also says there is a full new potential here. There is a potential for something super successful for y'all. And it is going to be in all areas, all aspects of your life. It's going to touch every aspect of your life. So that's why I say, these endings can be scary, they can be hard, but they are not here to frighten us or to scare us or to harm us. They're here because we have moved. Sometimes you just outgrow the energy, right? Sometimes you just outgrow wherever it is that you are, the situation, the experience, the people, that's part of it. That's part of it, man. That's part of this life experience. So what is this Nine of Pentacles for everybody? Show me what this Nine of Pentacles is for everybody. We have the King of Pentacles. Yeah. So again, this has to do with your physical world stability. And I said that already because the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles do have to do with your physical world stability. The King of Pentacles is somebody who has mastered, that physical world stability. He knows how to transform and transmute everything into something physical. So he knows how to transform his career, his emotions, his life, his partnership, his friendships. He knows how to transform all that into gold, into pentacles, right? Essentially. So this is you again investing in yourself. You're investing in yourself here. There's a closing of a cycle where you're called to invest in yourself at this time because you have already put all your pentacles, all your Ten of Pentacle energy into everybody else around you. What is this Seven of Cups energy, please? Show me the Seven of Cups energy, please. This one really wants to come out. Eight of Swords. So, Seven of Cups, remember I said you have options. So you definitely do have options. But the thing about these options are that if you get too embedded in your fantasies, in your daydreams, and you start kind of like confusing yourself, you need to be like aware of what is real. You need to be aware of the pentacle part. Like, how can I make this? How can I ground these cups? Because the cups aren't going to be grounded energy. That's emotional energy. Emotional energy is not grounded energy usually. It's usually very flighty. It's usually very fleeting. And so that's why you have these Eight of Swords, because there's a part of you that's like, oh my God, I have so many choices. Like, I just feel like I'm stuck. Well, you're not stuck. She's not stuck. That's the illusion, right? So you need to make sure with the Seven of Cups that you're not in the illusion of the energy. You're actually focusing on each cup and kind of like analyzing like the cups, like what could I do with this one? What could I do with that one? Where do I want this to go? What is it that I actually desire for my life? What would be emotionally fulfilling for my life? What is this Guide of Cups energy, please? What is this Guide of Cups energy? We have the High Priestess. Yeah. So the King of Cups to the High Priestess, what this is telling me is that, the King of Cups is somebody who masters his emotions. The High Priestess is somebody who masters her intuition. To me, emotions and intuition are interchangeable because that's how my intuition works. But you take it as it resonates. Um, with this intuitive piece of it, this is very, very emotional, watery energy. This is very like in your feels energy. So it's not just about being in your feels though, it's about like taking hold of that. Like, how do you use that? How do you figure out how to transform your emotions into your intuition? Because emotions will tell you stuff. They tell you stuff all the time. Um, there are they are giving us information all the time. Um, so this is about you really, and again, I'm seeing that masculine and feminine energy trying to balance themselves out. So with the High Priestess, there's secrets, there's things that you might not know, there's things that are hidden from you. You can't see all of it because nobody would ever make any decisions if we could see 10 steps ahead of us. That's not how it works. So you have to really like focus on your emotions, master those emotions and focus on the intuition that comes with it. What is this Five of Swords energy for everybody, please? We have two come out. We have the Ten of Cups again and the uh the Emperor. So you're in your head because you're trying to control it. Um, you are stable though. You are stable. You need to take action now, and how you take action is with like through your emotions and this sort of alignment. You take action by becoming in alignment with yourself. How do you do that? You align yourself with your chakras. What does that mean? What are your values? You have to know your values. You have to know yourself. You go back to this Nine of Pentacles. What have you been working on? And so now you have there's something here where there's like this stability coming in with this Ten of Cups energy, the Ten of Cups is like, this is emotional fulfillment. This is getting everything you've ever wanted, everything you ever dreamed of in life. And there's some things fulfilling with this. I could see this playing out both with work and in love or in your relationships, because we have both of those cards here, and we have other cards that are showing me that that could very well be the case too. So, excuse me. So with this Five of Swords, you need you need to focus more on the action and the emotion rather than the feeling of being stuck. If that helps with that. What is this Ten of Wands? energy for everybody, please. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So universe is backing you up. They're like, yeah, man, you've held on to these sticks way too long. You got to drop all this. So you got to focus on yourself. You got to focus on your emotions. You got to focus on what makes you happy, what's fulfilling for you. I'm here backing that up for you. And so this is also like a divine timing card. So this is like, this is going to happen in the way that it happens. You can't force it. You can't change it. You can't, I mean, this is the Wheel of Fortune is about change, but it's about expansion change. So when I say like, you're expanding your consciousness, you're expanding your awareness, this is part of that. This is part of something you have to go through. It's your spiritual journey or part of your spiritual journey that is creating all this for you. And the universe is backing you up 100%, saying, yes, let's do it. And I might add, we have now 4 10s. Actually, we have 5 10s because we have one. Let's see, wait, did I do that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so we have 5 10s. So ending, somebody's ending, closing out a cycle. We are closing this cycle. It is done. We're done. We're moving on. What is this 10 of Cups energy, please? What is this 10 of Cups? Show me more about this 10 of Cups, please. We have the Knight of Pentacles. So emotional fulfillment, um, and also this is really good because the Knight of Pentacles is somebody who gets where he's going. He doesn't get distracted. He goes very slowly and he goes very methodically and very strategically, but he actually gets there. The other knights, sometimes they don't even make it to their destination because they get distracted. They take a different path and then they go down a different road. No, this guy's for real, man. He is coming in, but it's not going to be fast. It's not going to be fast at all. And so this is what, this emotional fulfillment, this chakra alignment, this alignment with yourself, it's not going to be like an overnight one and done quick thing. It's going to be very methodical so that it can actually manifest in the physical world. That's why the pentacles are slow, because we need this to manifest in all areas. We already completed a cycle. We're not looking to do something that's not going to be lasting for us. If we're ending something, because endings are usually painful, and I do see a little bit of pain with the Five of Swords and the Eight of Swords. If we're ending something, we want this other thing, we want this new thing to last. So that's why we're going to take our time here. That's why we're waiting on divine timing, and that's why we're seeing this pentacle energy where we are building something. We are in the process where he's on the path. He's coming. It's just taking a little bit longer than might be comfortable. So it might be a little bit uncomfortable waiting for this to kind of like manifest in the physical world because it's already in the spiritual world. But like the spiritual and the intuitive world they go like millions times faster than the physical world does. It always takes the physical world like way longer to catch up because there's so much logistical kind of stuff that goes with it. So what is this Explorer of Cups energy? What is this Explorer of Cups energy, please? What is this Explorer of Cups energy? We have the Four of Swords. So yeah, part of this exploration is an inner exploration. This is a journey within, and usually spiritual journeys are going to be journeys within. So we are exploring, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we are exploring these external things or we're exploring this physical world. Do we know this is coming in? Yes, we do. But it's also with this high priestess, we're kind of like trying to figure out like who we are as like spiritual beings. And so this is taking that time to rest. It also could be like we saw in the previous spread, the previous cards, it's also like talking to your friends, talking to your therapist, that kind of stuff. And then we have the Four of Cups on the back, which tells me that like you really want this balance, you really want this reciprocity, but you're not seeing it. And so you're thinking that it's not coming. And I'm telling you, it's gotta be this guy, This is why. It's coming. It's just not coming very quickly. And you really don't want it to because this looks like like a shift that is like huge. This is like significant. This is like an immense massive shift. Um, and so you don't want this to be like a fleeting thing because this is something that's going to kind of like stick for your life for a while. It's going to create another Ten of Pentacles legacy. It's going to create another Ten of Cups legacy. So you don't want this to be sort of like fleeting. So as annoying as it is that it's going to take forever and you feel like, why am I just sitting around waiting? You're not. Whatever it is that you're doing it because it's telling me with this Wheel of Fortune and with the High Priestess, with the world, it's already set in motion. Like you can't change this. You're already stable. You just, this isn't something that you can control the timing of. We can't control the timing of this, which is super annoying. I know that's not an answer. I get it. I know. But that's awesome. I love that for you guys. Oh my gosh. That's like really big shift. Really big shift. And it looks like for the better as well. I'm gonna pull some final cards and then feel free to reach out or anything. I know it's been a while, but I'm always available if like it resonates, you just want to like talk it out or whatever, or anything. So I'm gonna take Angels and Ancestors Oracle to get just kind of like a closing message. Any advice, anything else that may not have come out, even though we covered a lot of ground in that. Maybe there's something that hasn't come out yet. And so, see what else? What else for this full blue moon in Sagittarius, please? We have winter. Take care of your needs. That's interesting. I'll talk about that in a sec. We have spring. See your seeds grow. That is also very interesting. What else do we have? That one. We have Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. And then we have Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So this was kind of going to be like that High Priestess card. But let me tell you what I found interesting. So when this winter card came out, there's a wolf on here. And so wolves are interesting because we got the oh, where was it? Where did I put those cards? Sorry. We got the self-assurance on this card, that self-assurance, and then we got self-empowerment on this card. And so, when I was telling you about these oracle cards that I did earlier, the wolves they're pack animals, but they're also very independent. So they will kind of like protect their pack, but they're also very like fiercely independent. So they kind of like balance out that needing to kind of be around others with their own need to be fiercely independent. And so that's what they're saying, take care of your needs. Like make sure that you're not like people pleasing or doing things for other people. Remember those wands. Remember we're not going to carry all those wands. In fact, we are going to use those wands and make a path for ourselves because we're done carrying other people's wands, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that winter card. With the spring, see your seeds grow. This is like that Nine of Pentacles card. This is showing me that, we are growing ourselves. We are working on that self-actualization, that self-fulfillment with ourselves. And so and it's going to be a longer journey, right? It's going to be a little bit longer. It's going to take longer than, you don't just like, you don't just plant the seeds and then suddenly you have like a whole tree. You have to wait, right? You have to kind of like make sure that you're taking care of it, you're taking care of yourself. So they're saying, make sure you're taking care of things while you're doing this, not just like waiting around, not just like being anxious, but actually taking care of what needs to be taken care of so that the seed has an opportunity to grow. Um, with the shield maiden, I see that there's a little bit of defensiveness. I'm kind of getting some of that like Five of Wands. And it's not that shield maidens are defensive, but just the fact that she has a shield that she's trying to protect, and then a sword, which swords are symbolic of they can either cut or they can heal. And so, being careful about like how you're talking to yourself, what the thoughts that you're thinking, what you're saying to other people, how you're expressing people, and not being too closed off with the shield, but making sure that you do have boundaries when you need to have those boundaries. And then with the medicine mother, honor your inner knowing. This is like that high priestess energy again, where it's telling you to focus on your intuition, and focusing on your intuition is going to help you with all this other stuff. So it's kind of like paying attention to those little like pings or whatever when something doesn't feel right. When you're in a social situation, I'm like, I just don't want to be here right now. Listen to that. Get up and leave. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And so that's kind of like for all of these cards, listening, like, did I give it enough water? Did I drink enough water today? Did I am I giving this the 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 most integrity that I have, whatever is happening in your, like if something's making you upset or angry, am I giving this the most integrity that I have? Stuff like that. You can take it any different way though. Those are just examples. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. So I hope that was helpful. I hope it resonates. This sounds amazing. I hope this is resonating for someone because this sounds like truly amazing. So you'll have to let me know. I hope you guys have a good full blue moon in Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much for stopping by.